Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Wow Me Wednesday. As you can see, I have a special guest with us today. I'm so honored to have John Rogers, who is the president of the Mary Stuart Rogers Foundation, which is a foundation that gives out scholarships and grants, mostly up and down the West Coast. And he is a distinguished Toastmaster, self-proclaimed Toastmasters junkie. That's right, because he's been a Toastmasters member for 17 years now. So you can bet he has many insightful tips for you today. Some I've never shared with you before. So definitely listen in. Thanks for being here, John.
Well, thanks for having me.
So tell me how you got started as a public speaker and as a Toastmaster.
Well, as you mentioned, I am the president of the Mary Stuart Rogers Foundation, and we go out and give scholarships to needy men and women in the education field. And when I go and meet them and we give them, show them our support, they want me to speak. Standing in front of a bunch of college and sometimes high school men and women scared me to death. So in 2001, my wife suggested that I go to Toastmasters. And I walked into a Toastmasters meeting, and I've been there ever since. It's been very supportive, and it's helped me a great deal in my dealings, not only in the education field, but as I go out and offer some suggestions to different organizations.
Awesome. And I know many of you are Toastmasters out there, so that is a great place to get regular practice and also to get that immediate feedback from your peers. So thank you for sharing that, and glad you became a Toastmaster because now we get to hear from you more often.
So am I.
So what are some of the key points that you've learned through your public speaking and Toastmasters experience?
Well, one of the things that I think is very important if you're going to speak to an audience is to get there early. Is to get there early and let them know you and get to know them. So when you stand in front of them in a professional manner to speak to them, you're not as nervous. You kind of have a familiar faces when you look around.
Right.
That's really very important. Another thing that I would suggest is preparation. You cannot prepare enough for a presentation. The speaker, the audio and the visual support that you might need, make sure it works. Make sure that you don't get surprised when you stand up in there and the mic squeaks on you, or you go bang, bang, bang to try to get some sound out of it. So pre-flight. Pre-flight is one, and that's something that I do as a pilot, is pre-flight, and you can't do it enough.
All the preparations to make sure you're safe when it comes to flying, but for you as speakers, so we feel secure, so we feel confident. And those are such important tips that we don't often think about. We think about content and delivery, and that's what I talk about all the time. But I've never talked about and thought about really sharing getting there early. And when you do get there early, I often do for my workshops and presentations about public speaking, I am able to then meet with one-on-one and get to know people's names and get to know where they work and learn about their pain points so that I can, during my presentation, bring them up as an example and talk to their needs specifically. And we've all been in those presentations where the microphone screeches. That's painful, right? It's even worse when you're behind the microphone. So really important tips there.
There's a couple of other things, Jessica, that I want to mention that I think are very, very important. You know, preparation is the key in all aspects of it. Your supporters or the people that are asking you to speak, they'll give you a time to speak. 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15. Stay within that time period. Don't ramble. Prepare your speech so you can do that. And the audience will applaud you more when they know that you're only going to speak for a certain amount of time. You don't bore them with it. Eye contact is extremely important, and that's in everything. And if you prepare your script, you won't be reading your script. You'll be the eye contact. Helps out. It helps
make the connection.
Makes you connection with the audience.
Definitely. Right. And we've all been in presentations too, where it goes on and on and on, and you're checking your time and you got to leave for a meeting or something. So I think keeping succinct, and you're right, paying attention to the time that has been allotted to you. Another point that you had mentioned to me earlier was about your introduction, not what you're saying, but how someone introduces you. And I think this is really informative too.
Insist on the people that are asking you to speak, insist on two things. Give them your bio and a picture which they want, which they would like, and they publish it with the people that are going to be there, like for Rotary, early on. And then give them an introduction for you. Don't have them read your bio. It's very boring to hear that. Mm-hmm. But there ought to be an introduction of what you want to speak about, what you're going to speak about. Have a short introduction. And then one more very important thing, technique that I use is when you begin your speech, ask a question. Whatever you're speaking about, and I used the example early on, how many people have you seen in an automobile accident? And right away, they're going to connect with you.
Yeah, because we've all been there.
We've all been there. So these are just a couple of items that I learned in Toastmasters. There's a myriad of things, the hand gestures, the eye contact, all that comes with preparation and how comfortable you are with your content of your speech.
Right. Thank you so much, John. Those were such great tips that I feel like we can walk away with and start practicing right away.
Excellent. And if you'd like more, be more than happy to sponsor you at the Toast Breakers 3389 on Thursday morning at 6:45 at Mimi's. So come and have breakfast with
Mimi's
us.
in Modesto.
Mimi's
all right.
in Modesto.
Way to give them a shout out, John. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jessica.
I appreciate your time. Thank you for tuning in too. I hope you guys found this helpful today. And for more free tips about public speaking or on-camera speaking or even job interviewing, log on to my website, jessicachangconsulting.com, and leave me your email address. I would love to stay in touch and to be able to send you some more valuable information. I will see you next week.